Hello Cruising World, Mick the Suit Guy with you. It is Monday and it is time for week 2 of Sean's tips. Last week, which in reality we all know is about 3 minutes ago when I was recording it, so I'm still calming down, I got a little bit upset. Not with Sean. Sean's tips were great, but whenever you mention about the crew and being nice to the crew, I do get a little bit over the top sometimes, so I apologize if I got carried away last week. Actually, I don't, because I'm always going to do that, because I would defend the crew to the hilt. And to readdress the two things that Sean said, address the crew by their name and say please and thank you. And that somehow set me off into a diatribe of about 15 minutes of be nice to the crew. So it's a week. Just imagine it's a week later, not 3 minutes after I filmed the last one. And then we're zen. We're good. We're going to go with this week's tips. I haven't read them yet, so I hope the next one is not about the crew. So we've got 5 more tips from Sean this week. Number 1. Oh God, I saw the word crew. Collect names of crew who make your cruise more enjoyable so you can name them on the post-cruise survey you might receive by email. On the rare occasion we have had bad service, we have mentioned this too. Very valid point. As I mentioned in last week's, and I didn't realize this, I was incorrect. Only 40% of people get these surveys, which is very shocking to me. As a diamond cruiser, I always get them because they, for whatever reason, don't start on me. I'm not a privileged diamond cruiser. They tend to value my comments more. And I'm going to tell you this, and this has not been aimed at the crew anywhere near as much as it's been aimed at the ships and the standard of quality and taking things away. I used to give 10 out of 10 on everything, on every survey I ever did. It was the easiest thing. I was done in 2 minutes and over. But my reviews have become a lot more critical lately. Not of the crew. On occasion, so to Sean's point, I would never say anything bad about any crew members. But I feel right now that sometimes crew members aren't as good as they used to be. Occasionally. Maybe they had a bad week. I don't know. But I will mention it myself. And I never used to do that. I used to put nothing because I'd say, they had a bad week. But you can tell sometimes there's some crew members are better than others. And I think the ones that are better than others do deserve to be pointed out a bit more. So if you have good service from the people that work with you, absolutely. But most of them carry around cards so you can get the names right. And these surveys, believe it or not, they do mean something. They're really good points. They have a bulletin board down below in the crew area, and the best comments from the previous week will get posted on the walls. And it's a really good confidence booster for them to know that they do a good job and people actually care about the job that they did. So if you're a room steward, if a specific bartender, if you're dining room staff, anybody on board, anybody, anywhere did a particularly good job, make sure you get their names because you don't want to butcher that and mess their names up, and put them in that survey. Because you may think it's a waste of time, but they do genuinely read those surveys and they do help get promotions and all that sort of thing for those crew members. And if nothing else, to see their name up where people said they did a good job and get it highlighted, especially in front of their peers, is a good thing. So be nice to the crew. Do that. That's a very good point. Again, I wish everybody got that survey, but for whatever reason, they don't send it to everybody. But yeah, and I do recommend it could be a learning moment, it could be a teaching moment. So if you do have really bad service, and I wouldn't say just somebody was clearly not in a good mood that day, but if it was specifically bad service, I would let them know. I never used to say that, but I think you should. I think I've changed on that. I'm getting a bit ornery in my old age. 59 this year. God, I'm 60 next year. Good grief, if I make it, the way I live my life. But if I do, I'm having a 60th birthday cruise on the Celebration. And we're going to Celebration Key on my 60th birthday. So we are celebrating my 60th birthday at Celebration Key on Carnival Celebration. Boom! Who wants to join me? Email me if you want information. I have a group and there's going to be a blast. I'm going to go mental. Could be my last cruise. I don't know. We'll see. Number 2 this week. Number 7 overall. Pack your patience. Any travel these days can be frustrating, but staying calm and smiling will get you through through it in a much better frame of mind than getting angry. Now, this is probably the best advice you could ever give anybody. And from me, the reason why that is such great advice, and I've been saying this for years, because I don't know if you know this, but yeah, I'm a travel agent, blah, 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 but I'm also a wedding DJ. Julie is a wedding planner. So things always go wrong on a wedding day, right? So the bride, specifically the bride, the groom don't really care, but the bride has two ways of letting that go. She can let it ruin her day, or she can move on, not let it ruin her day. Because there's one thing I know in this world, and this is a guarantee, people. This is an absolute guarantee because it's physics. You cannot change what just happened. You can learn from it and make sure it doesn't happen again, or you can accept that it happened and just move on. But you cannot change what just happened. So if a cake gets delivered and there's a slight crack in the icing, don't let it ruin your day. Oh yes, that's happened, right? Similar with these cruises, if you have a bad experience at embarkation, for whatever reason, you can't change what just happened. Don't let it ruin your cruise. Don't spend the next 6 days, 7 days, whatever it is on your cruise, complaining to everybody else about how terrible your embarkation experience was, because they don't care and they don't want to hear it. They're enjoying their cruise, so let it go. Oh God, I'm going to sing that. I say that, and every time I say it, I start singing that damn song. Not going to do it today. But pack your patience is an excellent tip. Let it go. Let it go. Aha! You're humming it now, though, aren't you? Yes. Good tip. Number 8. Make elevator trips more enjoyable by starting conversations, saying hello to other riders. Cruise people are more talkative in elevators than in other situations. I wouldn't know because I don't do the elevator unless I have no choice. Now, I will say on the XL ships, if I'm on deck 4 and I'm going to deck 16, I will on occasion take an elevator. Because when you do that, by the time you get to 12, you're starting to feel it. By the time you get to 14, you're really feeling it. And that's only one more flight because there are no deck 13s on Carnival. And by the time you get to 16, boy, are you feeling it. So occasionally I will. But yes, when somebody comes in the elevator, I will make conversation with them. Even if that somebody backs up in a scooter and takes 4 attempts to get in the elevator, even if it's somebody that's clearly physically not unable to walk but gets in the elevator and goes up one flight, I will try and make conversation with them. I will also make conversation with everybody else as soon as they get out, pointing out the fact that they just went up one flight in an elevator, and they will all laugh and agree with me, but they won't want to talk about it because it's awkward for them. But I don't care. Because you shouldn't get in an elevator if you're physically capable of walking and go one flight. You shouldn't let kids in either and knock all the damn things, And here's another thing on a Carnival ship. You will have time to talk to them because if you are going from 4 to 16, you're going to stop 10 times on the way up. Have you ever noticed, and I don't do the elevators much, and I've still noticed this, there's usually like 8 elevators. Why does it take so long for an elevator to come when there's 8 elevators? That's a good conversation point. Moving on. All good tips this week, Sean. All good tips this week. Number 9. If able, avoid using the elevators when possible. Especially when going down, it is healthier and leaves the elevators for those that can't use the stairs. I mean, what am I going to say? I never use the elevator going down. I only ever use it going up, and only if I've got to do more than 10 flights. Other than that, I'll get back on the ship after a day ashore on deck 0, and I'll walk up to deck 9, 10, I don't care. But every now and then, I will up for multiple flights, but minimum of 10. I don't think I've ever done that. Yeah, no. Maybe 8. Depends how many drinks I've had. But I do agree with that 100%. There's no need to take them going down, even though they do say, like I used to hike a lot, and now I'm in Florida, there's no hiking, so I put so much weight on. But they do say coming down on a hike is more dangerous on your knees than going up. I don't think the same really happens with stairs, because it's not quite as extreme, and it's definitely a lot easier going down than it is going up. So yes, do that if you can, and don't go one flight. Unless you cannot. If you cannot go one flight, that is absolutely understandable. But if you can, don't go one flight. Number 10, and our last one from Sean. Sometimes, this is the longest tip of all, I think. This is like 5 lines. Sometimes the Hub app dining check-in wait times don't change update, which is frustrating. If we wait beyond our expected seating time, we go to talk to the dining host. They will let you know your actual wait time. One time for C-Day brunch, the app wasn't working properly, and as soon as we went to talk to the host, she seated us. Sounds like you're not a very patient person, Sean. Laws. That's all I'm going to say. I thought Canadians were nice and friendly and patient. I would take the opportunity to check in and have a drink at Alchemy. Not a red stripe there, obviously, but, I allow myself one non-red stripe a day, and that is going to be the Alchemy, where I'm going to get a variation of Pernod with blackcurrant, and I've yet to find an Alchemy bartender that doesn't say, what? But growing up in England, Pernod and blackcurrant was a very popular drink. I like it. What can I say? I don't like any other alcohol. Red stripe and Pernod. I have a beers if there's no red stripe, but beer and Pernod, that's about it. But yes, and we're talking really only for your time dining there, because obviously if you have set dining, you'll go in at the set time. But you can always go to the maitre d' and check in there, and you'll usually get seated quicker, I am sure. I remember I was on the Paradise recently, and there wasn't a day when the wait time wasn't at peak time less than 100 minutes. And I walked through the restaurant one time, and it was almost empty. Short-staffed is what I'm saying. But yes, if you do go and check in with the maitre d', you may have a better experience. I don't know. Depends how nice you are to the maitre d', to one of Sean's points earlier in these tips. But yeah, be nice and friendly and helpful, and say nice things, and they're going to treat you better. Go in with an attitude. Why would they treat you better? If you go in there and say, I'm Diamond, why am I waiting this long to get served for dinner? This is ridiculous. Or, hi, this is my first cruise. I was told that maybe if I come to see you, because you're so nice and helpful and friendly to all cruisers, that you might be able to seat me a little bit earlier. Who's going to get seated first? Well, possibly the Diamond idiot, but who's going to get the most respect from the staff, and who's not going to get talked about in a nice way later on behind the backs? And that person that was rude, don't think they don't remember that face for the rest of the cruise. Be nice. Be nice. Don't be nasty to the crew in front of me, or you will hear it from me. I would take you to one side and we'll have a little conversation. You won't win that conversation. Right, that's it. I'm going to leave that one there, because otherwise I'm going to say something that might get me in trouble. Very windy outside today, by the way. We had some rain yesterday, but yeah. Interesting. I won't show you what's going on behind me, because this office is a complete and utter tip right now. There's stuff everywhere. That's why we kind of zoomed in. But that is it for Sean's tips. Thank you so much, Sean. Send me some more. Send me yours. We got 2 weeks out of Sean. I need more. I always need more. We all need more. But I can't do all the tips. And you have great ideas that I would never think of. Like several of those ones from Sean. Gastro issues. That was last week. I would never have thought about that. Yeah, watch last week's if you want to know about Sean's gastro issues. Also, if you go on a cruise, send me your pros and cons of that cruise. What did you like about it? What did you not like about it? I will read them. Everybody's got different opinions. So when I read those out, it's with a pinch of salt. This is this person's opinion. Just because you didn't like something doesn't mean that another person would like that, Prime example, in a comedy club, you sit in the front row and somebody picks on you. That's why you sit in the front row, because they're probably going to pick on you. Don't complain about it afterwards. Don't go and say, oh, it felt terrible for the people the comedians picked on. Some people want to be picked on. You don't, then sit in the back. Apply that to everything in your life. Remember, not everything is about you, especially on a cruise. It's about everybody coming together and having a wonderful time. and not listening to your opinions on why they should do this or that. Don't tell people they have to do something. Tell people, this is what I like to do. If you like it, use it. If you don't like it, don't do it. Right? Give your opinion. People are much more likely to listen to you give your opinion than give your, what's the word I'm looking for? Give your order. Wasn't the right word, but you know what I'm saying. All right, Sean, thank you very much. Send me some more. Subscribe to this lovely little channel. Send me your tips. The subscription number or whatever it is coming up at the end. Blah, blah, blah. We're on a bit of a roll. Never on a roll. But, you know, I try and help people. I try not to do clickbait. I try and make these videos factual and helpful. Every Thursday, I do a cabin video. Every Saturday, they'll put a video out like a ship tour or port tour or something along those lines. So if you want to see those, check those out. But every Monday, it's Tips Day. And with that, I will see you later, Cruising World. Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget, subscribe, hit that bell, and you'll get notifications when new videos come out. And don't forget, click on the links to the left and right of me. You can watch playlists, new video suggestions, and more. Any questions? Email me, cruisingsuitguy@gmail.com. And don't forget, I'm a travel agent. Email for help.